The storm is past and I am still here standing, not the same as when the first cloud came. I have been refined by what I could not shelter, and the one who walks out is not the one who came. A calm after the storm is not the absence of the memory of all that came before. It is the deep and weighted kind of stillness that only those who weathered it can store. Calm after the storm is the inheritance of every soul that chose to hold its ground. It is the peace that has been paid for by the passing of the hardest thing that ever came around. Calm after the storm, the water's still and the sky beginning clear. Calm after the storm, I made it to the other side from here. For the one who spoke the peace into the waters is the one who speaks it into me right now. Calm after the storm is the promise that the storm could not disallow. He rose and rebuked the wind and said, "Peace, be still." And the wind and sea obeyed the spoken word. And the calm that followed was not the calm of ordinary. It was the calm of something deeply heard. The disciples marveled, saying, "What manner of man is this, that even wind and sea obey his name?" And the calm after the storm was the revelation that the one inside the boat was not the same. Calm after the storm is the whole album finished, every wave and died and wind arriving home. It is the peace that gathered all the pieces of the faith that learned it never walked alone. Calm after the storm, the water still and the whole horizon clear. Calm after the storm, I am everything I needed to be here. For the one who held me through the waves and darkness, through the night and wind and waiting and rain. Calm after the storm is the face of the faithful meeting peace again. Calm after the storm. Calm after the storm. The storm has passed night came down the way that nights do sometimes, without a warning and without a door. I found myself inside a dark I had not prepared a lamp or a lantern for before. The kind of night that asks you if you mean it, the kind that strips the easy answers bare, that leaves you with the unadorned and simple question of whether you believe he's there. Faith through the night is not the faith of daylight. Faith through the night is the faith that has no proof. It is the trust that holds when everything is silent, and the only thing remaining is the truth. Faith through the night, when I cannot see the morning from the now. Faith through the night, I will hold on, though I cannot tell you how. For the night has never once outlasted dawning, and the dark has never been the final word. Faith through the night is the deepest kind of trust that I have heard. Weeping may endure, he said, for the evening, but the joy comes in the morning like a tide. I have held that word in nights that had no morning, and found it somehow true on the other side. The night of Gethsemane was the longest, the one where even heaven seemed to wait, and the faith that walked through that particular darkness is the faith that opened up the morning gate. Faith through the night is the ancient kind of knowing that the one who made the darkness made the dawn. At the same hands holding everything together are the hands that hold the ones who are holding on. Faith through the night is what the morning is made of. Every dawn is built on someone's darkest hour. Every resurrection started in a garden, in the deepest and the most unlikely hour. Faith through the night, I can see the edges of the morning now. Faith through the night brought me further than I knew I could allow. For the night did not outlast the faithful dawning, and the dark did not become the final word. Through the night was the truest prayer that I have ever heard. I have carried what was never mine to carry. I have gripped the things I could not control. I have built my walls of self-sufficient striving, and called the weight of them a sign of soul. But the hands that I was using for the holding were the same hands that were meant to be released. And the grip I thought was keeping me from falling was the very thing that kept me from the peace. Held in his hands is not the end of trying. Held in his hands is where the trying rests. It is the place beyond the self-sufficient, where the carried finally becomes the blessed. Held in his hands, the ones that form me know exactly where I am. Held in his hands, no storm can take me from that place I stand. For nothing in the heaven or the earth beneath it, nothing present and no thing that is to come, held in his hands is where I started and where I will become. He said that no one is able to remove him. The ones the Father gives will always stay. The holding is not fragile or conditional. It does not slip or look the other way. I have doubted if the hands were still around me when the storm had taken everything in sight. But the holding does not wait for my believing. It was holding through the middle of the night. Held in his hands is not a feeling that I summon. Held in his hands is truer than my fear. It is the fact beneath the facts of everything, the ground that holds me when the ground disappears. Held in his hands, I stopped the building of the fortress. I stopped the pretending that the weight is mine alone. Held in his hands is not a weakness or a giving up. It is the calling home. Held in his hands, the ones that form me know exactly where I am. Held in his hands, no storm has ever moved me from that plan. For until the whole thing becomes home. Held in his hand, held in his hand. The rain has stopped and everything is different. The way the world looks different after tears. The colors have a quality of deeper than the colors of the ordinary years. I did not think I would be standing outside here. I did not think the gray would find an end. But the light that came after the rain was something I could not have imagined in the bend. Light after the rain is not the absence of the memory of everything that fell. It is the proof that what was falling was preparing something beautiful to tell. Light after the rain, the kind that makes the ordinary glow. Light after the rain is the light that only those who waited know. For the ones who stood inside the falling water are the ones who see the colors truest now. Light after the rain is the gift inside the storm that showed them how. The rainbow was not given for the weather. It was given as the signature to grace, a reminder painted in the post-stone clearing that the flood was not the permanent of place. Every color of the light after the raining is a wavelength of a promise spoken true. The arc across the clearing says, remember, I have not forgotten and I'm holding you. Light after the rain is the ancient kind of beauty reserved for eyes that chose to stay the course. The ones who sheltered only see the clearing, but the standers see the light back at its source. Light after the rain is what I want to give you, who are standing in the middle of the pour. The light is coming, and it comes with extra color, more than what was there the day before. makes the broken places glow. Light after the rain is the life that only those who stayed will know. For the ones who stood inside the longest falling are the ones who see the covenant most clear. Light after the rain was always what this storm was building here. The storm came in without a warning given, the kind that swallows everything in gray. I had no map for what I found that morning, no shelter built for what arrived that day. The waves were not the gentle kind of trouble, they were the kind that question what you know. They asked me if my faith was more than language, and I was not prepared to answer so. But somewhere in the middle of the breaking, somewhere in the loudest of the wind, I heard a voice that was not asking questions. I heard a voice that said peace and let me in. Peace in the storm, not the absence of the water or the wind. Peace in the storm is the presence of the one who walked on it. He did not promise me the sky would clear by morning. He did not promise me the waves would all be still. Peace in the storm is the anchor holding steady through the reel. He spoke and said, why are you so afraid now? Do you still have no faith in what you know? And I have heard that question at darkness, when my grip was at its weakest and its low. The peace he gives is not the peace of easy. It is the peace that passes understanding through. It guards the heart and mind of the uncertain, and it holds the ones the storm is coming to. Not as the world gives do I give you my peace now, not the kind that waits for everything to clear, but the kind that stands inside the contradiction of a faith that holds while everything is fear. is what I am still learning. When the sky is dark and everything is loud, that the stillness I am searching for is present in the one who spoke creation from a cloud. Peace in the storm, not the absence of the water or the wind. Peace in the storm is the presence of the one who walked on it. I did not need the sky to clear by morning. I did not need the waves to all be still. Peace in the storm was the anchor I was given, and I will. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Every room I enter has another noise. I have lost the thread of what I was before this, underneath the avalanche of voice. The chaos is not always the dramatic. Sometimes it is just the ordinary full. The calendar, the inbox, and the urgent, and the slow and unrelenting pull. Quiet in the chaos is not the turning off of every voice that fills the room, the sound. Quiet in the chaos is the deeper finding of the stillness underneath the ground. Quiet in the chaos, be still and know that I am God, he said. Quiet in the chaos, when the noise is loudest in my head. He did not say be still when everything is easy. He said be still inside the very roar. Quiet in the chaos is the practice I was always reaching for. Elijah heard the wind tear through the mountain. He heard the earthquake shake the rocky ground. He heard the fire that followed after thunder, but the Lord was not inside those sounds. After all, a loud and overwhelming came the still small voice that Elijah knew, and he covered up his face inside his mantle, because the quiet was the truest thing that blew. Quiet in the chaos is the still small voice that does not compete with everything that roars. It waits until the wind and fire have finished, then it speaks into the silence at the door. Is the gift I keep refusing when the noise feels more familiar than the still. But the quiet is the place where I remember Everything is loud and moving sideways. Every room I enter has another noise. I have lost the thread of what I was before this. Underneath the avalanche of voice, everything is loud and moving sideways. Every room I enter has another noise. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Every room I enter has another noise. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Everything is loud. Everything is loud and everything is loud. Oh, everything is loud. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Everything is loud in the chaos. Everything is loud and moving sideways. Everything is loud. I have stood inside the kind of storm that argues that the sun was something I had only dreamed, that the gray was permanent and the cold was final, and the breaking was exactly what it seemed. The storm is very good at its convincing. It speaks the language of the long and the severe. It tells you that the season has no ending, and the only honest response to it is fear. But I have lived through every storm that's said forever, and not one of them has kept its longest thread. Every sky that swore it would not clear by morning has not spoken its last word to me yet. The storm will pass. It has never once outlasted what is true. The storm will pass. It does not get the final word on you. For the one who holds the weather in his open hands is the one who set the limit of its stay. The storm will pass, and you will see the sun on the other This too shall pass was not a shallow comfort. It was the hard-won wisdom all the tried. The ones who sat it first had split inside the weather and come out living on the other side. The storm of Egypt passed and left a people walking free beneath an unfamiliar sky. The storm of Babylon passed and left a remnant singing songs they thought had long gone dry. The storm will pass is not a naive promise. The storm will pass is the record of the real. Every storm that ever swore it was forever eventually ran out of things to steal. I have stood in stormest into deepest, sang until the very walls began to shake, and the storm of chains and midnight turned to morning, when the ground beneath the sentence chose to break. I have been the one who stopped the singing early. I have let the storm convince me it had won, but the singing in the midnight is a weapon that reminds the storm its damage is not done. The storm will pass because it always has before, and because the one above it has not changed. Every storm that rose against the ones he carries has been outlasted and outlived and rearranged. The storm will pass. It has never once outlasted what is true. The storm will pass. It does not get the final word on you. For the one who holds the seasons in his open hands already knows the morning of your day. The storm will pass, and what remains will be the things that chose to stay. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear it but you cannot tell it where it comes from or where it goes. Jesus said this to the one who came with questions about the things that only the Spirit knows. I have wanted maps for what the Spirit carries. I have wanted certainty before the step. But the wind does not explain its destination. It only asks if I am ready to be swept. Trust in the wind is not the trust of seeing. Trust in the wind is the trust of the released. It is the opening of the hand that held the outcome, and the finding of the unexpected peace. Trust in the wind, I cannot see it, but I feel it in the sail. Trust in the wind, it has never in its moving ever failed. For the wind that moved across the face of water at the very first beginning of the world. Trust in the wind is the faith that lets the story be unfurled. The disciples felt the wind on the day of Pentecost, a rushing mighty sound that filled the place. And the trust in what was moving through the upper room became the turning of the human race. I've stood at the edge of the uncharted, with my hands around the railing of the norm. But the wind was not designed for the ones who anchor. It was made for those who trust and let it blow. Trust in the wind is the releasing of the steering to the one whose breath created everything. It is not the abandonment of wisdom, it is the wisdom of the open-handed thing. Trust in the wind, I stopped the calculating of the outcomes that were never mine to know. I was not made to understand the moving. I was made to open up and go. Trust in the wind, I cannot see it, but I feel it in the going. Trust in the wind, it knows the place that it has been growing. For the wind that hovered over all the darkness at the very first beginning spoke it light. Trust in the wind is the faith that turns the sailing into flight. Trust in the wind. not the climbing or the brave advance. It is the staying in the place of not yet answered, the holding of the unreturned glance. I have waited in the rooms of unanswered. I have sat beside the door that would not move. I have watched the ones around me find their morning while I was still inside the waiting groove. Waiting through the night is not the failure of a faith that should have moved the answer near. Waiting through the night is the deepest form of trusting that the morning will appear. Waiting through the night, the watchmen wait for morning just like this. Waiting through the night is its own particular kind of bliss. Not the bliss of easy or the bliss of answered, but the bliss of the surrendered and the still. Waiting through the night is the place where faith is tested past the thrill. More than watchmen wait for morning, he is promised. Let the house of faith wait more than those who keep. The vigil of the faithful is the longer and the deeper and the most rewarding sleep. Anna waited in the temple for the decades. She did not leave the coast or lose the fame, and the waiting was the very thing that placed her in the room the day the answer finally came. Waiting through the night is the formation of a patience that the daylight cannot build. It is the consecrated and the holy use of time inside the unresolved and unnamed. Promise. More than watchmen wait for morning, so do I. And the morning that is coming has been certain since before the first light crossed the first new sky. Waiting through the night, the watchmen wait for morning just like this. Waiting through the night, I will not let go of what I know is his. Not the waiting of the hopeless or abandoned, but the waiting of the one is how the faithful meet the morning as a friend. when the water reaches past the place I know. I have learned to look for something older than the fear that rises with the undertow. When the waves rise louder than my praying, when the noise of them is all that I can hear, I have found the quiet underneath the crashing is the place where what is true becomes most clear. When the waves rise, I am not the first one standing at the edge of what I cannot cross. Every wave that rose before me had a witness who came through to tell the story of the lost. When the waves rise, I will lift my eyes to where my help has come. When the waves rise, I will not be overcome. For the one who set the boundaries of the ocean is the one who set his boundaries around me. When the waves rise, I will stand on what I cannot always see. Peter walked on water till he washed it, till the waves became more real than what was said. And the hand that caught him did not wait for asking. It was reaching before Peter knew he played. When the waves rise, I have been like Peter, fixing on the storm instead of fixing on the face. But the hand was always closer than the water, and the catching always happened before grace. When the waves rise, I remember every parting, every crossing that the frightened made on dry, every wave that rose and could not hold the people God had already promised would get by. When the waves rise, I will speak to what is riser. I will say you have a boundary and a name. I was not designed to be consumed by water. I was designed to walk right through the same. When the waves rise, I will lift my eyes to where my help has come. When the waves rise, I will not be overcome. For the one who set the boundaries of the ocean